Who were the witches that Europe pursued and persecuted for nearly 3 centuries? Once demonized, now celebrated, where does the balance lie? At the witches exhibition held at the Château des Ducs de Bretagne in Nantes, a question arises. What does this figure, which runs through fairy tales and European history, really tell us? Hansel and Gretel, Snow White, these evil old women from the fairy tales of our childhood are not just fiction. Behind the stories that shape our imagination lie very real people. Women, often peasants, healers, who lived through one of the most overlooked tragedies in European history. From the 15th to the 17th century, Europe went through nearly 3 centuries of witch hunts, tens of thousands of trials and executions, the vast majority of them women. Women on the margins, those who hid, those who knew, those who disturbed, or simply those who did not fit into the established order. The burnings were mainly concentrated in Germanic regions, Switzerland and the Netherlands, and less so in Italy, Spain or France. At the beginning, magic was not necessarily seen as evil, even though, since antiquity, women were often considered inferior, fragile, and potentially dangerous. In rural societies, magic was part of everyday life. It healed, it protected, it gave meaning to what could not be explained in a world marked by fear, illness, and death. It was a culture of survival, a form of knowledge, almost a shared language that everyone relied on. The Church, supported by theologians, especially the Dominicans, and later by civil authorities, associated these practices with the devil. What had been popular knowledge became a threat. The witch became an enemy, someone to hunt, judge, and eliminate. During the Renaissance, images also played a crucial role. The engravings of Hans Baldung, Albert Dürer, and Jacques de Gain helped spread an image of the witch associated with dark forces across Europe. Before being burnt at the stake, the witch was first drawn, engraved, and imagined. Trials multiplied, fueled by collective fears, rumors, and sometimes local rivalries. Torture extracted confessions, and the violence of the system revealed another reality. Beyond fear, it was also about controlling bodies, beliefs, and communities. Contrary to common belief, it was mainly the early modern period, the Renaissance, the time of Descartes, and not Middle Ages, that saw the height of the burnings. Then, slowly, the witch hunts came to an end. Elsewhere, the story did not end. In 1692, in colonial Massachusetts, the Salem witch trials showed how fear and suspicion can return, in a different place, but in a familiar shape. Then the witch disappeared from the courtroom, only to enter fairy tales where her image became fixed as an evil figure. From the 19th century onward, everything was reversed. Thinkers like Jules Michelet rehabilitated the witch, turning her into a symbol of a free woman close to nature, resisting established order. Symbolist artists such as Odilon Redon and Gustave Moreau already explored mysterious and ambiguous female figures close to the imagery of the witch. Later, the surrealists, especially Leonora Carrington and Remedios Varo, reinterpreted this figure, transforming it into a symbol of power, knowledge, and female freedom. Finally, feminist movements turned her into an icon of resistance. Today, between esoteric subjects, ecofeminism, and pop culture, the witch is everywhere, reinvented, reclaimed, alive. So between demonization and rehabilitation, has the figure of the witch truly changed its place? Or does it continue to reflect the fears and tension of the different periods?